The action's hot and lively in August on ESPN. Major League Baseball is red hot 4 nights a week, plus baseball tonight every night. And the NFL is back with 3 live preseason games. There's sizzling golf action with the PGA Championship and the International. Intense tennis play and major tune-ups for the U.S. Open. And the feverish PBA Summer Tour live every Thursday night. All this and more in August, live on ESPN.
Presenting a superbly engineered high-performance machine. One designed to outperform anything the competition has ever introduced. With exceptional starting power, smooth acceleration, and outstanding fuel efficiency. What do we call this masterpiece of engineering? Bosch Platinum. The ultimate spark plug with the advantages of pure platinum. You've never driven anything like it.
To locate a Bosch retailer or service outlet, call 1-800-882-8101.
We put our Firestone Firehawk GTX to the test. And won. The H-rated Firestone Firehawk GTX all-season performance radio, head-to-head against Goodyear, Goodrich, and General. It beat them all. Firestone, tires that meet the test.
I'm beat. So's the competition.
The Firestone Firehawk GTX, backed by a 40,000-mile limited treadwear warranty. See it at your Firestone retailer today.
Put a Pioneer 6-disc CD system in your car. You get a lot more out of your music.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
ESPN, the world leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. Road Atlanta, 2.5 miles of rolling track set in the Red Clay Hills north of Atlanta, Georgia, plays host to the midway race in the 1990 Sports Car Club of America Trans Am. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bob Varsha. The Trans Am is truly an all-American road racing series, now in its 3rd decade, and a very competitive field. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Olivetti Trans Am at Road Atlanta is brought to you by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. And by Mobil. Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection? Engines have fired on our field of 32. They're beginning their pace laps. We'll take a quick time out and come back to introduce them to you and turn them loose in the Olivetti Trans Am at Road Atlanta. Stay with us.
When it comes to developing cars that run on cleaner-burning alternative fuels, no one has a more accelerated program than Chevy. The methanol-powered Chevy Indy V8. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
There's a big difference between the BMW M3 and the Chevy Beretta GTZ. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
This is a brand new $18,000 car. Put in a leading motor oil. This is an identical new car. Put in Mobil 1. Start them up and drive. Under extreme conditions, temperatures inside your engine can reach 570 degrees. Of course, Mobil 1 costs more. But then, under extreme conditions, look at what can happen to conventional motor oil. Mobil 1. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Nothing beats a winning team, pushing hard, reaching for the dream. Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold, got the king of beers. You're on a roll. Nothing beats the Bud. Budweiser. Budweiser. Nothing beats the Bud. Nothing beats the Bud.
No sport has captured the soul of America better than baseball. And in no place will you find it better captured than at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. Now, the museum is making available its first ever official Hall of Fame calendar at a one-time price of only $14.95. To order your 1991 calendar, call 1-800-345-9111. While America's love for the sport may be unlimited, the supply is not.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta, where the warm-ups continue, and we anticipate a green flag next time by for round 8 of 16 of the 1990 Sports Car Club of America Trans Am season. Bob Barsha, Elliott Forbes Robinson with you. Phil Van Horn's in the pit lane, and you're looking out the window of Paul Gentilosi's Oldsmobile. Gentilosi's starting in the number 8 position for today's race. Once a winner on the Trans Am Series last year in Long Beach, California, looking for his second career win today. And here is our second onboard camera, back in 24th starting position in the car of Steve Saleen from Anaheim, California. Saleen making his return to the Trans Am Series after not contesting it last year. This is the 25th, the silver anniversary season for America's oldest continually running road racing series, and the history of the Trans Am is glorious. This is in the Turn 5 area, the uphill stretch. This is on the back stretch, where the cars will touch 175 miles an hour.
Mannington has invented a new floor that breaks the shine barrier. Introducing Mannington Gold. Its new surface resists scuffs, scratches, and dents to keep shining twice as long as Armstrong's best floors. Discover the lasting beauty of Mannington Gold, a shining example of what a floor should be.
Is your car shaking, rattling, or rolling? Whether it's alignment, shocks, or struts, Midas uses top technology to diagnose the problem and top technicians to fix it. For suspension or alignment, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Find it, snatch it, bring it, match it. Stake your claim to fame in our numbers game. It's all pretty thrilling because you could win $1 million from the city. Circuit City.
It's Circuit City's $1 million giveaway. Check our circular, you could be a winner. And when you come in, save on the Sharp 25-inch TV with remote. Now $297.97. And this Sony programmable compact disc player. Just $119.97.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art.
I was going in this yard to read the meter, and I heard the scream. It was a scary scream.
And out of the blue, here comes this Georgia Power man.
And there it was, a rattlesnake. So I took my piece of one-aught wire and got rid of it. I asked her, was she all right? She said, I'm fine now, thank you. And I walked off and read the meter, left out the yard.
Serving you with energy from the power of our pride.
I don't like snakes.
Sunday night, Kansas City veteran George Brett is one of baseball's hottest hitters. He leads the Royals against Ben McDonald and the Orioles. It's Sunday Night Baseball, live at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Baseball tonight.
Back at Road Atlanta in a hot afternoon in Georgia, it's the Olivetti Trans Am, round 8 of a record-tying 16 and the silver anniversary Trans Am season. Your leader is Tommy Kendall in the yellow Chevrolet, followed by Scott Sharp in a red, white, and blue number 33 Oldsmobile, and just behind Sharp is Darren Brassfield in a red Olds. Here comes Kendall. Just behind is Sharp, and watch Darren Brassfield rushing up from behind. Looks like he's going to take a look at Sharp on turn 6. Nope.
That didn't make it.
Not there. Keep in mind, Brassfield is driving with a very sore right ankle. Now he's going to try him in 7, and he makes the pass.
Yeah, that's at 6. If you get that shot off 6, and you can outbrake somebody into 7, because it makes it very, very tough for somebody to hold the line from the outside. Looks like Scott's going to try back at Darren now with the V8.
It's a V6 Oldsmobile in Brassfield's car, a V8 in Sharp's car, so he should theoretically have the ponies on the backstretch.
Now we'll see who has the most brakes at the end of the straightaway, because this is going to be very important braking for the bridge, and it looks like it's going to be a lighter V6 for the brakes. We'll have to make the tires work, and they're on the same tug.
Well, I speculated that Kendall might have a problem. He's holding a real steady third right now as the top three continue to pull away, and Wayne Akers heads for the garage. We'll be right back to Road Atlanta.
Can you describe the experience of driving your new Eagle Talon in 10 seconds?
I could, but I'd rather show you in 6.3.
Did you know Eagle Talon is one of Automobile Magazine's top 10?
Talon has won several prestigious automotive awards, so what's one more?
Car and Driver's 10 Best.
You know, when I was a kid and got a hold of a nickel, I thought I was rich. I didn't turn up my nose at pennies either. Today, some folks won't even bend to pick 'em up. Well, here's a bowl of steaming Quaker oatmeal. And I can't think of a healthier way to start the day. Cost you 1 nickel and 4 pennies. So if you can't be bothered with nickels and pennies, throw 'em in a jar. Start an oatmeal fund. Quaker Oats. It's the right thing to do. Not too expensive either.
Quote. Celica, one of the most eye-catching cars of the year. Auto Magazine. The performance is stunning. Sports Car International.
Unquote. The 1991 Toyota Celica. Enough said.
Come on, you can do it. Right here, right here. Beautiful. Great. Excellent. Looks good. You're getting it. Every day I see improvement. Have a lifesavers, Dad.
I love playing catch.
Lifesavers candy. Isn't life delicious?
I was feeling pretty good when I saw my boy Joe in that new Oldsmobile. I thought Joe'd finally been to it some. But that new Peddler's Glade doesn't look like any Oldsmobile that Iowa had. It's got something called a high-output Part 4 engine. Sure looks like it'll eat up that road. And next thing you know, Joe will be bringing home girls.
Here we go. This is not your father's Oldsmobile. Yeah, this is the new generation of Oats.
Live, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. The place where fighters have stepped into the ring as unknown, made the right connection, and emerged as champions.
You gotta knock them off to win this, all right?
Budweiser presents the best fight in town. Top Rank Boxing, live on ESPN.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Back at Road Atlanta, Bob Varsha, 1982 SCCA Trans Am champion Elliott Forbes Robinson, and Phil Van Horn with you from Road Atlanta. We've got lapping action up front. The 5 of Darren Brassfield pressed hard by the 33 of Scott Sharp. Oldsmobile against Oldsmobile, and lurking in the back in yellow, Tommy Kendall, the winner of 2 straight races coming in. Sharp going way wide into 1.
Well, those two battling so hard, it's making it easy for Tommy Kendall to run white with them because they're so busy fighting each other.
And now Kendall pulls alongside Sharp. Up with the right-hander coming up, he couldn't get it done.
That's a tough place to pass on the outside there. He'll have to just follow him around now.
And by jousting to the rear, Brassfield opens up about 3 car lengths on Sharp and Kendall. Now we're back with Jack Baldwin, who's had smoking tire problems at the left rear corner of that car as we look at it. Now he's going to get past as he lights him up in the corner, pops away, and he gets tapped. Paul Newman and the 75 car got together with Jack Baldwin. They go on around. Somebody way off in the dirt trying to avoid them. And so order has been restored once again up front. It is Darren Brassfield over Scott Sharp. Tommy Kendall taking it all in from third. We'll be right back to Road Atlanta.
SCCA Pro Racing, taking you on the ultimate road trip.
Well, maybe me when late Saturday night. I had my hair on time, but baby just looks so right. Let's rock, 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 man, rock, rock. See, we Papa gonna rock, Papa gonna rock this show, rock it inside out.
Good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down.
Hello, Mom.
It's Jimmy. You sound as if you're in the next room, dear.
With Optic Phone's new fiber optic audio sonic lasers.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
One of the biggest blockbusters of the season is not an action-adventure movie or a sci-fi thriller. In fact, it's not even playing at your local movie theater. It's at your local Subaru dealer. It's the Subaru Blockbuster. Talk about a powerful performance. You can get the Subaru Legacy L Sedan with air conditioning, cruise control, and AM/FM stereo cassette at spectacular savings. The Subaru Blockbuster. This one is a must-see.
Now playing at a Subaru dealer near you.
Oh, Peter, be careful. What's wrong? Oh, honey, you didn't tell me your back was hurting. Wait, I have something for you. Here. It's Motrin IB. Same medicine as in prescription Motrin, except it's the non-prescription strength. One works as well as 2 regular aspirin. Says who? Says my doctor. Just take it. You'll feel better. And don't worry about it. That's your stuff.
Motrin IB, recommended by thousands of doctors.
And your wife.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
SCCA, we make racing happen. To get involved, call for membership information. Toll free, 1-800-255-5550.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Back at Road Atlanta, where Tommy Kendall's crew monitors the stopwatches on their man running in third position right now. There is the number 5 in red, Darren Brassfield, chased by the number 33, Scott Sharp, leading the race here, and Paul Newman. In fact, the 65-year-old Newman and the 22-year-old Sharp are teammates. Phil Van Horn has more on this winter-spring driving team.
Because of the movie Days of Thunder, interest in Paul Newman's racing career has intensified. Newman introduced Days star Tom Cruise to racing. Back in 1969, Newman starred in the original, and some say more authentic racing movie, Winning.
I think ours was probably a little more realistic. I think his film probably helps racing more. It makes it, more of a shoot-'em-up.
But while Newman is portrayed as racing mentor to Cruise, Paul actually has been partner in crime with the rise of 22-year-old Scott Sharp, who was introduced to the sport at a very early age.
My mom used to take me when I was about 6 months old, and we have these pictures of when I was they put me in the seat of the car and diapers and stuff.
At age 18, he was the youngest SCCA national champ. Now 22, Scott Sharp is linked with the 65-year-old Newman by the person who taught both to drive fast, Bob Sharp, Scott's father and Paul's friend.
Scott started racing when he was 8 in go-karts. I started racing when I was 47, so roughly I was 6 times as old as he was when I got started.
Now their paths cross at a time when Newman's driving career is beginning to decline, and Sharp's is beginning to show promise. In June, Scott captured his first Trans Am title, winning at Detroit. Newman's pride in Scott's achievement is obvious.
I was delighted beyond belief. It was a surprising win for him, and I think he'll win some really tough ones.
I think now more than anything I want to show everybody that it wasn't a fluke and I can back it up. And I thought we almost had it a couple weekends ago at Des Moines, but hopefully we'll maybe have it here.
Well, Scott Sharp had it his way in Detroit earlier this year when he won his first professional Trans Am race. Right now he leads en route to perhaps his second career Trans Am victory. We'll find out when we return to Road Atlanta. It's Sharp over Kendall. We'll be right back.
ESPN Home Video and Quaker State Motor Oil present Racing Tough, the new video that lets you answer the question, do you know what it takes to be a winner? Benny Parsons and Brett Bodine take you on auto racing's toughest video road test, challenging your knowledge of what drivers, builders, and crews do to get the most from their cars. It's a great way to find out how much you know about racing, and a fun way to learn things you never imagined racers do for speed. Order Racing Tough for only $19.95 by calling 1-800-472-1700. And if you buy 12 quarts of Quaker State Motor Oil or get a Quaker State oil change, you can save $5 when you buy Racing Tough. So call 1-800-472-1700 today to order your copy of Racing Tough and learn how you can save $5. Racing Tough, the toughest road test you'll ever take.
From Touchstone Pictures, Larry Burroughs was destined for an ordinary life. Then someone special,
are you an angel,
changed his destiny.
Welcome to your new life.
Darling, you're home.
God help me.
But Larry Burroughs would give it all up
Ellen!
for the woman he left behind.
I just want to be with you, like we were before.
It just wasn't meant to be.
James Belushi, Michael Caine.
It was meant to be.
Mr. Destiny, rated PG-13. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Here's 2 cold medicines. Choose one.
Sudafed.
Now choose again. This relieves these 3 symptoms, this 9.
Number 9.
You chose
Tristan. The kind of cold I get includes a fever, headache. Sudafed just deals with congestion.
Tristan relieves 9 tough cold symptoms.
Put the power of an upright in the palm of your hand with the Royal Dirt Devil. It has a revolving brush, and it can handle all kinds of dirt. Pick up the handheld vac that really picks up. Dirt Devil by Royal.
When you rinse first with Plax, normal everyday brushing takes on a whole new meaning. Plax, clinically shown to remove more plaque than brushing alone.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Back at Road Atlanta, where the battle continues, the 33 of Scott Sharp being challenged by the 01 of Tommy Kendall. These guys have been joined at the hip since the green flag here at this race. We will take a quick time out. Here is Paul Gentilozzi. He, too, several laps down after a long pit stop for a broken shifter. It is Kendall, Sharp, and Brassfield. We'll be right back.
So, this is an Eagle Talon.
Come on, you've raced against Talon all year. Surely you've seen one before.
Not from the front.
Did you know Eagle Talon is one of Automobile Magazine's top 10?
Talon has won several prestigious automotive awards, so what's one more?
Car and Driver's 10 Best.
For 1990, some Oldsmobiles are new from the ground up. Others are new from the top down. Some have striking new profiles, while others have bold new side views. Some new Oldsmobiles are at home in front of mansions, and others are at home in front of everything else.
This is the new generation.
Sunday night, Kansas City veteran George Brett is one of baseball's hottest hitters. He leads the Royals against Ben McDonald and the Orioles. It's Sunday Night Baseball, live at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Baseball tonight.
We're back in a very warm road Atlanta for the closing laps of the Olivetti Trans Am. Part of the silver anniversary SCCA Trans Am season, your leader is Tom Kendall from La Cañada, California. That's a lapped car, that white one behind him. And there comes the second place car, number 33, being driven by Scott Sharp. Because we are on the last lap. Slower traffic impeding your leader, Tommy Kendall. He begins to go around, but the battle is right here. Second place, Darren Brassfield at number 5, and third place, Scott Sharp. The checkered flag awaits. Leader Kendall has made the pass. There is nothing but a turn between he and the finish line. Here comes the battle for second. If Sharp is going to do it, he's going to have to do it right now. But it looks as though Darren Brassfield is going to have things his way. And there is the checkered flag, brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. And the Chevrolet of Tommy Kendall took it with style, getting just sideways at the exit to turn 12. And he has won his third straight Trans Am. The margin of victory, 2.5 seconds. Tommy Kendall averaged 105.25 miles an hour. But everybody is going to be talking about the battle between these two guys, the number 5 of Darren Brassfield and the number 33 of Scott Sharp. A terrific battle here today on a beautiful day at Road Atlanta, and we'll be back to sum things up for you when we return.
Family, they're my most important priority. So I had my attorney set up a trust, and I manage my trust investments myself at Schwab. Low commissions, no annual fee. Now, if something happens to me, my family is taken care of, the way I've arranged. Haven't lost my touch. Neither has she.
We give you more ways to succeed.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta, where Tom Kendall is making his way to victory lane following his third Trans Am victory of 1990. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Olivetti Trans Am from Road Atlanta has been brought to you by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. By Mobil, Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection? Hotel accommodations for the SCCA have been provided by the Marriott of Gwinnett County, proud sponsor and official hotel of Road Atlanta. And while some of our competitors get help with the heat, let's get to victory lane and Phil Van Horn.
Well, here's the man to catch the rest of the way in the Trans Am season. Tommy Kendall collects his third win of the year, and maybe even proved a little bit of a point. 2 wins on those temporary courses and 1 here on a true fast track. The win today, how does it feel?
It didn't come easy, I'll tell you that. You know, the ICI Olivetti Beretta was the class of the field in qualifying. But, man, that V8 has a lot of grunt down the straightaway. And Darren actually got by Scott, gave me a...
Well, describe that battle going in your rearview mirror.
Well, actually, it was in front of me for half the race. You know, Darren body slammed me and got by me, and that allowed Scott to get by, too. And I figured I'd just cool my heels and watch the fireworks. And they put on a little bit in front of me. And then when I caught Scott, you know, down in turn 1, that enabled me to get clear of that. And, boy, they were going at it in my rearview mirror. I called Danny on the last lap, and I said, Darren took his vitamins this morning, and I bet he's going to take Scott out. And that's exactly what it looks like happened.
Tom, congratulations. You're out in front and the man to beat the rest of the way.
Here's a look at the top 20 today. Tom Kendall over Darren Brassfield. Among the missing in the top 20, Paul Gentilozzi carrying our in-car camera broke a shifter and finished 22nd. Chris Neifel lost the engine after running as high as third. He finished 23rd. And Max Jones, who came back from that first lap crash, he finishes 24th. With his victory, Kendall opens his points lead from 23 to 29 points. Well, next time is not far away. 8 races remain in the 1990 season. I'm Bob Varsha. For Elliot Forbes Robinson and Phil Van Horn, thanks for being with us today. So long from Road Atlanta.
While most people are just getting up, one airline is off to over 200 business centers across the U.S. United.
Thanks for flying with friendly skies.
1 year ago, the Cleveland Grand Prix was key in the fight for the IndyCar World Championship. Emerson Fittipaldi, driving for Pat Patrick, scored his 3rd win in a row, and counting the Indianapolis 500, his 4th for the year. Today, Fittipaldi is in the middle of a tight battle for PPG points. This year, he has yet to win, but is currently tied for 3rd.
Well, the championship is still completely open to anybody. I'm running 3rd now, a very good chance of winning. Would be, I would say, at least 7-8 drivers with a good chance of winning. For me, it would be fantastic to win the 2nd time the championship.
Under a hot Cleveland sun, the fight goes on in the IndyCars. And we're ready to go. ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. The battle continues in the IndyCars today on the shores of Lake Erie at the Burke Lakefront Airport, just a few blocks from the center of the downtown of Cleveland, Ohio. It's the CART Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix, and it's a very hot afternoon here. Sunny skies overhead, a light breeze blowing off of the lake, but that's not going to help the drivers stuffed down in the cockpits of those IndyCars. It's going to be a long, hot afternoon for those men. Hello, welcome to Cleveland. I'm Paul Page. And as we come here approaching the midpoint in the IndyCar season, we have a very close points battle underway. As a matter of fact, any one of the top 5 contenders in that points fight by the end of this day could end up being the leader in the points battle. Now, as we mentioned earlier, this is the Burke Lakefront Airport. 362 days of the year, it's an active airport. And then the Penske Speedway people come in, turn it into a racetrack.
The new first turn. In my opinion, Paul, I think this is going to give us a better racetrack.
So the new racetrack is ready. The teams and drivers are ready for that famous command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Drivers in the cockpit, teams ready to push away. We're ready to start here at Cleveland. Here is the Sears Die Hard starting grid, brought to you by the Die Hard battery, now with more power when you need it most. On the pole with a new track record, Rick Mears, his 3rd road course pole, the 34th pole of his career. Outside, Emerson Fittipaldi, the defending champion here. In the 2nd row, Michael Andretti, who has led all but 8 of the last 477 miles in IndyCar competition. And Al Unser Jr., he was the winner here in 1985. The 3rd row on the inside, Danny Sullivan. His first career win came on this course in 1984. And Mario Andretti, who hasn't won an IndyCar race since his victory here 2 years ago. Onto the main stretch, we look for the green flag. The field accelerates now. And the green flag comes out. They race at Cleveland. The pace car comes off immediately. Rahal tries a very wide line, but then drops into line as Fittipaldi comes outside of Mears. And the front row battles among itself. They come around 2 by 2.
Mears has the lead. We were worried about a 5 abreast start, which we almost had. What's is this? Michael Andretti down
Michael
the inside.
Just surged past both Fittipaldi. Now here comes Fittipaldi back as he comes past Rick Mears.
Somebody's in trouble. Both Andrettis are slow, but there's so much racing room here. You can go inside or outside.
2 cars got battled up as they came through that chicane right there. and won by the side of the course.
Michael made a big charge to that first right-hand turn. Obviously something broke, and we see one of our in-car cameras. Michael shakes his head. The 3 in a row is not going to happen here.
It was just what Michael was worried about. The hat trick has gone away already as Al Unser Jr. closes in, as does Ray Hall, battling with his teammate. Fittipaldi has the lead. Rick Mears rides in second place as Fittipaldi, the defending champion here, streaks across the line.
Off the road, you can get away with it.
Rick Mears started on the pole here. The last 5 times that Mears has started on the pole, he has failed to lead in the opening lap. Right now, Rick Mears runs in 3rd place. Emerson Fittipaldi is the leader. We'll be back with more. From the shores of Lake Erie in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Burke Lakefront Airport on a beautiful day in Cleveland, it's ESPN's live coverage of the CART Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix. And today it's brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Goodyear Eagle Radials, the best-selling performance radials in the world. And by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil.
There are all kinds of sophisticated instruments designed to let you express yourself. And Ford has one you'll want to take on the road. Ford Probe. It's a very powerful way to express yourself. And once you've started playing, you may never want to stop.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
The world's greatest float maker will now demonstrate how to make an A&W root beer float. First, the ice cream. Next, the rich, creamy A&W root beer. Now his assistant will make an equally delicious A&W cream soda float. The ice cream. The A&W cream soda. An A&W float is a great treat for you, your family, or a flock of friends.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Fittipaldi grabbed the early lead away from his teammate Rick Mears, and then Little Al took the lead away from Fittipaldi. With these wide runways here, we've seen some great racing in a lot of different lines. A good example there, as you see, one car well down to the inside, and then Fittipaldi is able to grab a much higher line as he moves around Randy Lewis in the AMP car.
It's in fact the number 3 car of Michael Andretti who they got running again.
So Brayton lost it. Oh, just a few more feet and Michael might have gotten clear.
How bad can your day be when somebody else spins in front of you and collects you, gathers you, and puts you out of the race for a second time?
And Michael's luck to this point had been so incredibly good. Michael Andretti, 174 of 179 laps leading into this race. He was the leader, and twice today he has trouble. We'll be back.
Feats, dazzling stunts, and dynamic performances have made the Wings for Charity Air Show a top attraction for the past 20 years. Wings for Charity is a non-profit organization dedicated to raising money for the Tri-Valley area charities. This year's attractions include Sean Tucker, aerobatic soloist, Team America, Julie Clark, skydiving, wing walking, and much, much more. The Wings for Charity Air Show will be held at the Livermore Municipal Airport, Saturday, July 28th and Sunday, July 29th. Gates open at 7 a.m.
There's a tradition in Palo Alto, the tradition of Tierney's. A tradition that was built upon service, good tailoring, and concern for customers' wants and needs. Tierney's complements tradition with the quality and style of Southwick and Norman Hilton suits, Kenneth Gordon shirts, and Talbot neckwear. It is suggested that the real Tierney's tradition is built upon a friendly, inviting atmosphere one finds upon entering. Experience Tierney's tradition soon in the Stanford Shopping Center.
One Tough Motor Oil announces one tough guarantee. The Quaker State 250,000-mile or 10-year guarantee. Register your new car at a participating service center. Then use only Quaker State. Have oil and filter changed as directed at a service center, and if any lubricated engine part suffers an oil-related breakdown within 250,000 miles or 10 years, you're covered. Quaker State guarantees it in writing. The big Q is one Tough Motor Oil.
Welcome to the 90s, and welcome to a way to explore new horizons. Introducing the new four-door Explorer from Ford. Explore more total room for people and cargo than any competitor. Explore its exclusive push-button four-wheel drive. Explore its aerodynamic design. Discover new four-door Explorer from Ford.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
How fast and portable are Wagner's new cordless power painting systems? Just watch. The new cordless power roller automatically pumps paint to cover quickly and easily, with no runs or drips. The new cordless power brush is perfect for trimming any job, big or small. There's no better way to finish a job with flying colors. Anywhere. Cordless power painting from Wagner. Not just a whole lot faster, a whole lot better.
Tuesday, Friday, doubleheader. Wednesday, ain't nothing better. Catch it Sunday, watch the fun. Sunday night, our home run.
The world champion athletics face the Indians on Sunday Night Baseball, live at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Baseball tonight.
We're back at the Burke Lakefront Airport. The U.S. Olympic Festival is now underway, the nation's premier event for America's top amateur athletes, and you'll see all the coverage right here on ESPN. Coverage continues today live at 4 o'clock. And Rick Mears, that's Buddy Lazier's car with a problem in the left rear suspension.
Looks like that rear wishbone has broken, and that looks like a magnesium fire, maybe titanium, but something metallic and sparky is rubbing on the ground there. We're not sure whether
he's got some flames at the back of the car as well as he comes in. The pit crew, of course, right there. Plenty of firefighters here at the track, and they'll get that fire out nice and quickly.
Of course, the danger of coming into the pit lane with the car on fire is there's so much fuel around that they try and ask you, if necessary, if possible, get the fire put out before you get in there. But of course, he was already in the pit lane before he realized he was alive.
This ESPN Track Fact is brought to you by Quaker State. The big Q is one tough motor oil. Here's Gary Gerald.
Anytime that a driver has to be concerned with a rough racing surface, the focal point of his concern and the concern of his crew is found basically at the rear of the race car. If you hit a pronounced bump and the rear end pops up in the air, even for a fraction of a second, the RPMs soar and both of these rear wheels freewheel, even for a split second. Then as they come down and engage the track surface, a tremendous amount of stress is felt at critical points all the way through the rear suspension.
We will come across the pit stops pretty soon. In fact, Fittipaldi just ducked down into the pit lane. He is the first of the Penske cars to make his stop. We can expect Sullivan to be in the next lap or two.
Here's Gary Gerald.
And we look and we see the familiar Marlboro colors coming right in perfectly on the marks for the defending PPG point champion. Emerson Fittipaldi has reported that all is well. He likes the balance on the car. They made one fuel adjustment in the cockpit earlier. He has been very, very happy. Now off the jack, he's rolling. We've got him time in just under 14 seconds on our clock, and this Penske crew is happy. Sullivan will be in the next lap. Paul?
13.5 seconds, in fact, Gary Gerald, and Fittipaldi rolls out. Bobby Rahal comes into the pits and has made his stop as well and rolls back into the action.
The lead, third place to number 1. Now he's right into the thick of the battle for this lead.
So at the front of the field, once again, it is Al Unser Jr., but at the moment he is not unchallenged. Danny Sullivan is right there and knocking at the door. We'll be right back.
The Quaker State King Racing Buick, winner of the 1989 Die Hard Award for the most tough NASCAR mile, is winning again in 1990 as Brett Bodine takes first in the first Union 400. It takes a tough oil to keep a car running this tough, and it takes a tough driver to step right in, step on it, and win. But number 26 is one tough car. Brett Bodine is one tough driver, and Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Hey, come on. Is this any way to spend the summer? No. Make it a Bud summer with Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry. Check inside 12 packs and you could win one of 100 Bud label pools. Look for me, Jeff Altman, where you buy your favorite beer, because we're giving away pools all summer long. It's wet. It's wild. It's Bud summer. Hey, man, you need sunscreen. You're starting to peel. Woo!
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
They say that by a certain age, you fall into a predictable pattern of statistics. One spouse, 2.5 children, one 3-bedroom home, and a typical 4-door sedan. But what do they know? The 220 horsepower, 24-valve Ford Taurus SHO, just when they thought they had you all figured out.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Just about a half a mile down the lakefront, Municipal Stadium here in Cleveland, and the Oakland A's are in town with Jose Canseco, and they are ready to take on the Indians. Our ESPN cameras will be there live tonight at 8 o'clock, but right now we're at the Burke Lakefront Airport, and you're riding on board the Valvoline car with Al Unser Jr., the leader of the race, who's locked in a battle now with Danny Sullivan, who's riding just a few yards behind
this car.
And a yellow flag comes out at the start-finish line, and the pace car, Johnny Rutherford at the wheel, comes out. No indication as to why this yellow flag is out, except perhaps that the kart officials want to run a full course inspection here. A lot of dirt has been kicked up. Bottoming mark there in that one corner.
What we see here, in fact, looks like a bit of track surface coming up. Maybe that is what the inspection is all about, the new surface.
So the field will be slowed here with 37 laps complete in the run, and Al Unser Jr. remains out in front. Danny Sullivan is second, Fittipaldi is third, Bobby Rahal is fourth, Mears is fifth.
Le Mans, the world's most famous 24-hour endurance race, and the scene of a major triumph for Jaguar and Goodyear. For both Goodyear and Jaguar, it was a double triumph. First and second at the 24 Hours of Daytona in February, and now, first and second at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Superior performance. It's why Jaguar chooses Goodyear, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Staying ahead of the competition means staying ahead of the times.
Ford trucks, the best never rests.
And with ideas like an exclusive push-button four-wheel drive system and the most advanced electronic automatic transmission, Ford trucks aren't just leading Chevy, they're pulling away.
Ford trucks, the best never rests.
The best-built, best-selling American trucks are built Ford tough.
We tested STP oil treatment under the worst possible conditions. In the taxi cabs of New York City. The result? Engine lift to wear was reduced by up to 50%. And now there's an STP for your newer car, too.
Hey, good hustle, Tom. Way to go into the stands, babe.
Hey, you really killed yourself out there today, kid. You don't have to be a Major League ball player to need Major League pain relief. Bengay Sports Balm. Real relief for sore muscles.
Come on over, baby. Whole lot of shake.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold buds.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
On the eve of the All-Star Game, Major League Baseball is throwing a party, and you're invited. Interviews, features, and more are all part of the All-Star Salute. Monday night at 8 Eastern, live on ESPN.
ESPN's live coverage of the CART IndyCars continues today from the Burke Lakefront Airport on the shores of Lake Erie at Cleveland, Ohio. And today, our coverage of the IndyCars is brought to you by Firestone, tires that meet the test. By Pioneer, with a Pioneer car CD system, you get a lot more out of your music. Pioneer. And by Glidden, the paint that more people have switched to over the last 5 years than any other brand. We're still under a full course yellow here at the Burke Lakefront Airport while they continue to sweep out in one of the corners trying to get all the granular material from the asphalt that's been pulled up off the course and make it safe to race through that area.
Happened in that turn and why you had to throw the yellow full course?
Gary, we had a couple of cars that were involved, and we had to do a pack up. And while we were down under the pack up, we were in a lengthy yellow situation because Little Al Jr. had indicated that turn 2 had some sharp pebbles because of a sharp apex, bringing pebbles up on the surface. When we were out, he was telling us turn 2, but it was really turn 4 because of the new configuration. So we cleaned it up and we're ready and we're back racing.
Okay, that's the word from Billy Camphausen, Paul.
Well, you heard Little Al earlier. He and his own chief engineer, Alan Mertens, they argue about which is the front straight and the back stretch. I'm not so sure I would have taken information from Little Al on that one.
Well, that's right. Of course, the confusing thing also is there are turn 5 and there's station 5. Station 5 is the 5th station that they have the flag marshal, so that can often be a confusing item also.
Paul, as he chases Danny Sullivan in second, his teammate Al Unser Jr. is out in front. By the way, our congratulations to Dale Earnhardt, who scored his 5th win of the season yesterday in the Pepsi Firecracker 400. You saw it here on ESPN.
To show how Firestone Firehawk tires perform, we occasionally take some of them for a little weekend drive. At the toughest tracks across the country, we put our Firestone Firehawk street performance tires, including the same SV radials you can buy, to the test in racing. Over 1 million miles now, and still counting. Firestone, tires that meet the test.
Great weekend. Sure went fast.
An important thing you need to know about the new Ford Escort GT is right here in black and white. The 16-valve double overhead cam Ford Escort GT for those who truly appreciate the power of the press.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
On America's Olympic hopefuls step into the spotlight in a sports extravaganza, the U.S. Olympic Festival. See more brilliant performances today at 4 Eastern, live on ESPN.
The Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix. It is still Al Unser Jr. that leads. Danny Sullivan being chased by Bobby Rahal, and Rahal has been closing steadily in on Al Unser Jr. Let's go to Lynn St. James.
When the drivers make those pit stops and you see them hand the bottle out, most drivers have to have something to replenish all of the fluids that they're losing, and there's a variety of things that they drink. You've got Gatorade, you've got Exceed. These are actually mixes that they put together. There's also another mix that Nassau puts together, and some drivers might just drink plain water, but in about 2 hours at about 95 degrees, 100+ degrees in the cockpit, you need to put something in there to replenish those fluids. So drivers have a variety of things that they decide to drink.
And it's more than just a matter of refreshment.
Further up the pit road.
More than refreshment, you're right.
Further up the pit road, as we came out at the end of Lynn's report, we have Michael Andretti, who had a chance to stop at the transporter once he got across the track and change out of the uniform. And I tell you, there seems to be no middle ground for you this year. It's either elation or despair, and today I guess it's the latter. Not good fortune early.
No, it's a real shame. You know, I had a pretty good start. I was able to get the lead, and as soon as I dumped it into turn 2, the motor just quit, just died on me. And by the time they got me in and changed the electronics on it and got me out, I was about 5 lifts down, but the car was still running very good. I think capable of winning, because I was reeling in the leaders. I could see it. You know, this is one track that you could see all the leaders all the time, and I was reeling them in, and then Scott Brayton did a nice little spin in front of me and lets his foot off the brake and goes right in front of me, and you know, really ends the day in fashion.
Well, all of the points that you gained in the last couple of weeks momentarily sidelined now. We'll talk to you, of course, races ahead. We wish you well next week in New York.
Thank you very much.
Michael Andretti, Paul.
Sad for Michael. Interesting season, though, in 5 races. When he finishes, he wins. Michael has won twice. His other 3 have been DNFs. Here it is again today. Unser's race. He was the leader when he came to the pits. Is done. Danny Sullivan, under a full course yellow, takes over the lead. Bobby Rahal is in second place.
The Quaker State engine so tough? One tough motor oil. And being tough takes more than just talking tough. There's a brand that says it's been engineered for smaller engines, while Quaker State has been tested tough for small engines in Japan, in Europe, and in America. In fact, Quaker State has toughed out the most demanding specs for every size engine in every size car sold in the U.S. What makes any size Quaker State engine so tough? Quality engineered Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil.
VX800 from Suzuki. The perfect excuse to ride again.
Coming soon to a Disney Channel near you. It's the blockbuster hit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And this fall, the exclusive presentation of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
The machine works. Do the kids know? Well, yeah, the kids know.
Subscribe to the Disney Channel now and you'll receive a free Sport Goofy plush. This is a limited time offer, so subscribe to the Disney Channel by July 31st, 1990 and get a free Sport Goofy plush, plus a special installation offer.
This summer, the world's best come to America for the 1990 Goodwill Games.
Более 2500 сильнейших атлетов мира.
Aus über 50 Ländern.
Compitiendo en 21 deportes.
予選なしの全てが決勝戦。
Izgalmas.
Da primato. Minusvärdig.
The 1990 Goodwill Games in Seattle. This summer on your TBS channel.
When we set out to engineer the ultimate spark plug, we put in a lot of long hours. We utilized a lot of revolutionary thinking. And all the while, our competition thought we were just shooting for the moon. Unfortunately for them, we shot a bit higher than that. Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug. To locate a Bosch retailer or service outlet, call 1-800-882-8101.
Sunday night, the Athletics are locked in a tight battle as they drive toward the AL West title. Now the Indians try to spoil the trip. It's Sunday Night Baseball live at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Back at the Cart Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix here on ESPN. Still under a full course yellow, the second of the day, and under the yellow flag it is Danny Sullivan that leads, followed by Bobby Rahal, then Fittipaldi, Mears, Teo Fabi as we look down through the bottom half of the top 10.
Whose car is that? A lot of cars in this town need parts from Parts Plus. Take a hint from your car. Go to Parts Plus for the quality name brand auto parts you need. Because Parts Plus sells name brand auto parts with quality you can rely on. The same quality name brands used by professional race car drivers. So the next time your car needs auto parts, come to Parts Plus.
We're America's family of auto parts stores. We're Parts Plus.
You don't get to be number one by standing still.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
Only Ranger has Ford's exclusive touch drive to let you go in and out of four-wheel drive at the touch of a button. No wonder Ranger is leaving Chevy in the dust.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
The best-built, best-selling American trucks are built Ford tough.
The Thunder rolls this summer. So don't miss Paramount's new movie, Days of Thunder. And stop at Exxon for your Days of Thunder family fun book. An inside look at the filming of Days of Thunder and news on NASCAR racing, games, driving tips, and all sorts of puzzles. They're available at participating Exxon stations. But they're going fast.
Some of baseball's greatest legends take to the field before the Major League All-Stars play ball. From historic Wrigley Field, it's the Equitable Old Timers game, Monday night at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN.
The fight continues in the IndyCars of kart as the battle goes on for the PPG IndyCar World Championship. Today from the Cart Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix. And our coverage has been brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. By Wagner, power painting that is not just a whole lot faster, but a whole lot better. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Well, back at the Burke Lakefront Airport, Danny Sullivan to the Marlboro number 7 is out in front. Bobby Rahal trying to catch up. Fittipaldi trying to catch Rahal. And Penske teammate Rick Mears also trying to catch Fittipaldi. So it's a battle at the front. Though Mears sitting back there, you've seen the interval of the first place cars. Ari Leyendyke you saw there in the number 30 Domino's Pizza car. He is not in the order. Mario Andretti is, though. He is in that Kmart car, and he is running in 5th place trying to catch Mears. With 9 laps to go, we have a tremendous battle through the front 5 cars here on the racetrack.
Leyendyke looks as if he's running stronger than he has been most of the day, but he will frustrate Mario Andretti because Leyendyke is trying to keep up with Mears, and Mario just cannot get by Leyendyke, and he knows Leyendyke is 1 lap down. Problem at the start of the race, and now he's in the deepest trouble he's been in all day.
Got a glimpse of Chuck Sprague there, the team manager for the Penske organization, as he keeps track not only of his own car, but all 3 cars in the team. He's responsible for them all. Well, there's Rahal. There's Debbie Rahal.
Again, looking at Bobby running in second position. I mean, this is hard to believe. He's had so many second places. I mean, it is good points for the championship, but Rahal absolutely must be so frustrated at all these second places right now.
Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix.
I would say this is probably one of Sullivan's hardest races. There's the white flag. They're just starting their final lap. Sullivan goes by the starter stand. Nick Fenora waves that white flag. But I would think this is one of Sullivan's harder races. They have been flat out through the whole event. They had that long yellow period, but Sullivan has had to fight all day long.
See the turbulence at the back of Danny Sullivan's wing. Don't forget, the Olympic Festival is next here on ESPN. And Danny Sullivan on his final lap. Bobby Rahal out of contact with Sullivan. Fittipaldi not in contact. The top three positions should come to the line without any problem whatsoever. And Danny Sullivan driving for Marlboro and Roger Penske at this Penske Speedway track is on his way now toward the checkered flag. Nick Fenora has it in what has been a very long afternoon. There's Danny Sullivan on the pit straight now. A right turn, a left turn lie just ahead. We're looking at Danny Sullivan as he makes the final turn, and the checkered flag is just ahead. It's Danny Sullivan's 14th career win, his 8th on a road course, and of course, his 3rd here at Cleveland.
A good day for Sullivan comes after his pole position at Portland. He has his troubles. Remember the Detroit problem when he was the only one that could challenge Michael.
Mario Andretti takes a run on Emerson Fittipaldi at the line, but can't get past him, so they finish Rahal 2nd, Fittipaldi 3rd, Mario Andretti 4th. And the Foster's Porsche of John Andretti in 5th place. Ari Leindyke is 6th. Unofficial order of finish right here at Cleveland, the Burke Lakefront Airport. So Danny Sullivan puts his mark for the first time here in 1990 in the winners column.
He likes Cleveland. He waves to the people here for the 3rd time on a victory lap. Danny Sullivan, the most successful driver to race here at the Cleveland Grand Prix.
And that'll bolster his spirits.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.